Hello everybody, this will be my breakdown for episode 4 of the Book of Boba Fett. So let's get into it. Now I'll say that I'm really starting to get concerns about this series because I feel that these last two episodes were not good. I feel that this doesn't feel like a appointment television, I must say, especially for a Star Wars show. And I feel that the way the story is moving forward is not great. The way they are portraying Boba Fett, and we only get some really glimpse of a badass Boba Fett that I think most people want to see. And yes, it's just not really big things going on here. Now I think the last week episode I didn't like it very much, but this episode was this new episode was very disappointing. And we only have 4 episodes so far, and we have 3 episodes left. So I hope these shows really stop to gain a really big things in terms of the story, the action, and what they're going through in those last 3 episodes that we are going to have. Now, this episode focuses on how Boba Fett and Fennec Shand meet and the beautiful relationship, beautiful friendship, I must say. Sorry. Now, how Boba Fett he saved Fennec Shand, and so, but this episode was mostly flashback, so we get to see Boba Fett save Fennec Shand, and I think the way they approached this was not so much very interesting. I think they could have done things differently in order to make it more interesting to see. But yes, so Fennec getting enhancement. Now I think that this opens something here in the Star Wars universe that I'm not particularly liking it, because it feels like getting a mechanical enhancement feels something common. And what is so special about the game that has those enhancements? And it started to feel something more like an arc here in terms of providing some use in terms of defense or some kind of weapons. So far, maybe we'll see that in those 3 episodes remaining, but yes. And I think that also that Luke Skywalker, he have enhancement, Darth Vader, and then if everyone here and most people are starting to get those, so I think it doesn't become something really for special. It just becomes something very common. Now the show is moving too slow, and I know they have very Western influences here, but it doesn't have like the big things, the big Star Wars thing in top of that. Yes, of course, a lot of Easter eggs here and there, but they have to do something better. Now let's go to the episodes, the highlights of these episodes. There were a couple. So the guy who runs the mall, Palo, is a musician, Thundercat, and I like this guy. He didn't have a lot to do here, but he did a great job manage his cameo. And I really particularly like these two lines from him. And my favorite are when he says to Boba Fett, "Well, you should have started with that," and then he paused. Like that. Now and then when he starts finish putting the enhancements on Fennec, and Boba was like, "Are you going to close her up?" And he said, "And cover all that beautiful machinery." Of course, now Fennec has those mechanical enhancements. If she doesn't need to power up or change the liquid or the oil for that. We haven't seen her doing that. Quite interesting. Now, one of my favorite things here, I think, was Boba Fett retrieving his ship. Then we seen that he goes off first, and he says that we get another perspective, another look from a different side of Jabba's palace, and there are a lot of guards. And then he goes with Fennec, and yes, there are a lot of guards there, so they need to go there and retrieve the ship quietly. Now, I really like the droids here. I think they were the best part of these sequences. Very cool design. And that little dude, the little droid, it was so cool to see the way he was running below into the fire with his earrings flat back. And then Boba Fett grabs him, and he was grabbing him by the neck, very terrifying. And the little dude, he basically turned himself off, and it was so cool. And Boba Fett really keeps him around because later on we see him in the dinner scene, so it was cool. Now, I did love the once the Boba Fett retrieved his shit, he blasted the baker again into oblivion, and the look of his face was very boss, and that's what I want to see of Boba Fett. We only have glimpses of that, and I think that was one of the cool stuff that we want to see here. And then we go to the Silent Pit, and I think that was very anticlimactic because we all knew that the armor was not in the Silent Pit, and because the Jawas took it. So yes, and well, he basically drops the bomb over there, so quite interesting. Now, Boba Fett is quite an animal lover, so I really like that about him. Now, Boba Fett and Fennec, Boba Fett says to Fennec that working with other people sucks. And the biggest takeaway from that scene is the line that he says that he's no longer alone, and he knows that he needs a tribe. It's better to have a tribe, which I guess is why he hired the back again. So then by the very end of the episode, when he tells Fennec that he's got a lot of money, and Fennec says, "Yeah, let's use that to buy some muscle." And I'm like, Boba Fett, you can inspire loyalty from anyone for a crime boss that he is. So yes, now I think that Fennec and can also for sure Santi are going to like these people are getting paid for this, but I think the Mando team came over there, so that's a clue that Mando will show up in next week's episode. So I mean, he and Mando were friends, so I would think that Mando would do it for free, quite frankly. But yes, now I think that they're going to hire a lot of other bounty hunters, because there are a lot of rumors that the other bounties are going to show up. Campaign, please. So yes, exactly. We'll have to wait and see for the next episode. But I would love for them to hire a bunch of bounty hunters and put some kind of a bounty hunter unit would be much cooler than the way they are doing this stupid bike game from last week. And he already has Santi working for him. And yes, Boba Fett wakes up in the present. He's finally totally here, which means because he's done with that, so we're done with the flashbacks, and I think that we can start seeing him joining the fights more, because beforehand he was like holding back, and I think now that he's fully here, we can see some big action with him. And so he decides to go into a stroll into town. He's still walking everywhere, and he stopped at the canteen where it turns out that Santi is a mean drunk, and Santi, of course, he is black consent. Now I feel bad for the listeners, the Trandoshans, because I think they were having a really great night in the casino. But also, those Trandoshans invade. Well, they went into to Kachi, and they're slaves, Wookiees. So in Santi, in the comics, fights of a lot of them, and then he flew up war, and he became a gladiator. Then that was touched for a brief moment here, but yes. And I think the fight we here with Santi was fine. So I'll say the Jennifer Pierce Garza, she looks amazing. I like her, the dress here, the makeup design. They really did a fantastic job with her. So next, we finally, Boba Fett has the dinner scene from the trailer with the other mob bosses of Tatooine, and then he says that you gotta promise me that you're not going to side with the Pykes. They are going into, the Pykes are coming to Tatooine with an army, and you're going to stay off this. And they were like, sure, why? I mean, we want to say yes to that. And how Boba Fett know about it until, how Boba Fett is going to know about it until it's too late. I mean, it feels just like an empty promise, especially since he doesn't ask them to sacrifice anything or put anything on the line. He just asks them from the war, and they are criminals, they are crime bosses. So and it's very difficult. I know he's trying to gain respect here, but I think he doesn't feel like a bad guy here. So it's hard to be a crime boss without being a bad guy. But yes, now we have 2 episodes left. Let's see if Boba Fett can end strong and stronger than he has started. Now I think so far the only really episode that will stand out is episode 2. I think that so far that was the best episode, and hopefully, as I said previously, I hope we are done with the flashback and we are caught up all with the presents. Now there are a lot of rumors that maybe we're going to see Han Solo play again by Harrison Ford, but with the aging Harrison Ford. And I think that would be phenomenal to see, especially if they can tie that to Kira because of the connection of Solo, and she has a strong connection here with the syndicates, the crime syndicate, and the Pykes. So it makes sense if we have that confrontation, because the romance that they have in the past. So I think that can really work and make something really great in terms of not only having these big characters here, but in terms of storytelling. I think they can do something really good with that. but we'll see. I think that would be fantastic to see. But yes, seeing, and also, I mean, it will be the aging Harrison Ford, and but I think the also is the Pykes. I mean, I don't see like the Pykes really the big guys here, the big villains. And I think yes, they have an army of 10, but I think there's someone bigger behind all this. And I think that I think the most logical sense is Kira, but it could be another character, so we have to wait and see. But just that's my breakdown for episode 4 of the Book of Boba Fett. Thank you so much for watching, and let me know in the comments below what do you think of the episode. And like this video, share it with your friend, consider subscribe to the channel, and thank you so much for watching. Bye bye.